Yeah, man. Anyone you see, they start leading towards, but a lot of it's just, it's just confusion. We're just inundated with all this nonsense all the time. All the time, we're just told all this nonsense, and that in any bad things are empowered. You're supposed to be a pranky, cheeky, wise ass, see it all the time with kids. The YouTube is such a great place to watch the decline of humanity, because you get to see great things like parents pranking their children, which not only does that humiliate them on a grand scale, because it's on the internet and it's being videotaped, but that level of betrayal and just disconnect, as a child will be crying and their parent will just be sitting there filming them and laughing. That is incredibly damaging. That is full on child abuse. This Jimmy Kimmel prank your kids crap. Everyone involved in that should have their mouths cheese grated off. All right. I would like to take a cheese grater to your mouth and teeth and just work you until there's just a mass of blood and a hanging tongue, and maybe there were mandibles there. You need to be punished. You're a bad person. What you're doing is you are ruining that child. They need to be able to trust people, and you're ruining it. The trust that there's supposed to be between a parent and child is literally sacred, literally, and you're ruining it for what? Does Jimmy Kimmel send you money? Well, good for you. Your son will never, ever, ever trust anybody ever again. He will always carry that with him, even if he doesn't remember it. That is ingrained in him. That feeling and what you did to him is ingrained in him. And how dare you? And there is a special place in hell for all those parents that prank their children. Prank. The whole prank, it's satanic. Pranking is why? It's horrible. Why would you deceive and hurt somebody? That's funny. It's funny to deceive and hurt somebody. It's dark, man. It's dark, and in all these horrible things that are horrible things, promiscuous sex, just any decadence, weak living, man. It's the Scythians, the Gauls and the Gaelic tribes and all of them. They knew that soft living made you weak. It weakened your spirit, made you a bad person. Look at how many problems are caused by people just wanting to be comfortable, by being lazy. By these by all the baby boomers. Of course, millennials are really stupid. So really anyone older than them is now a boomer, because they just don't know what words mean. They have no respect for the English language, which pisses me off. They spend all their lives in a world of words, on the internet, typing away, but they have no respect for the language and can't use it properly. All the time, back when I used to game and stuff, and there's to be online, chat and stuff, I was constantly correcting people with their uses of common terms, even stuff like a buff. All right, here's some gaming terminology for you. All right, a buff is a temporary increase in your statistics. Say a strength buff or a defense buff. It's a temporary increase, all right? It's a temporary increase. Nowadays, that got buffed, which means, it's now permanently better. Oh, that class got buffed. No. A buff. Do you even know what buff means in like in like the physical sense? It means to give it a shine, idiot. When you give something a shine, is it permanently shiny? No, it isn't, and that's why it's a buff, idiot. You know, but people don't know what words mean, and they just buff just means any sort of increase. No, a buff is a temporary increase. And did you see how much that irritates me? That one little thing. I don't like when people misuse words. It's why it drives me nuts when people translate me. It's like, I don't mince words. I try to choose the best possible word. Do not translate me. That's not what I said. You know? It's because, you know, people don't speak directly. Someone like, you know, are you cold? It's a person asking, are you cold? What they're actually saying is, I am cold. I don't want to be cold anymore. But they can't say that. Hey, are you hungry? Can't be like, I'm hungry. Are you hungry also? It's just, it's just sneaky. Everything's sneaky. You know, and I'm kind of too flustered right now to think of a specific instance, but all the time, people try to be sneaky, and they ask things sneakily, and they don't need to. You know, and it's just insulting. It's irritating. I hate it. Just be direct. The world would be a far better place if people weren't cowards. You know? I always think, man, when Jesus said the meek shall inherit the earth, that was not a good thing. I think that's like the pre-end times, because to be this, you know, you gotta have balls, man. You can't, you know, and like no one, sorry, gonads. If you're female, those are your ovaries. Unless you had yours removed, in which I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. I hate all the asterisks, because someone will always be like, oh, I'm one of the 0.001%. How dare you use a blanket statement? Me and 3 other people in the world have, you know, are different than that. How dare you exclude us? No, you know what I mean. It's a blanket statement. Doesn't cover all of you. Anyway, what are we at now? 40 minutes! Goodness gracious! It's gonna take like 3 hours to upload. Anyway, I think I've rambled on quite enough. Hope you've enjoyed this early morning cruise. It's like 6:15, right? Quarter past 6. It's 6:15, right? I still kind of said quarter. You know what? I'm just gonna have to, you know, deal with the fact that my R's are a little bit lightened from having lived in Massachusetts for 100 years. But anyway, so it's like 6:15 in the AM. It's still pretty dark, kind of drizzly. It's no longer 60 out. It's now in the mid to high 30s. I think it's gonna drop because, you know, it gets colder as the sun comes up. Have you noticed that a lot of times? It'll get colder as the sun comes up, or as the sun goes down, it'll get warmer. I've seen that happen a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of like almost like an oven-like effect, because we have all the chem bale. We have the chem soup above it and above us, and above that is the sun. You know, so the sun could be warming the chem bale, and then be warming us that way. You know, like a crock pot. Like a crock of shit pot. Anyway. That was weird. Love you guys. Love you guys so darn much. There's a really nice view right here that you can't see. Because it's too dark. There's Boston. You see those lights? I don't know if you can see them. Probably not. It's Boston across the way there. Where the skies above it constantly glow. silvery gray. But anyway, I love you guys so much. Like I said, if you know anybody that wants to be someone else, like legitimately, like they think it's a good idea to have a sex change, or they want you to start calling them a different name or something, that something's up. That's a definite warning sign. Used to be years ago, yeah, that your buddy's suffering from from some sort of psychosis. They need some help. Nowadays, they just, so apparently to love someone is to let them do whatever they want, even if it hurts themselves. And that isn't love. One of my favorite quotes, man: a river without boundaries becomes a swamp. We need structure, and letting someone do whatever they want is not love. That's why there's hell. There has to be repercussions. If God didn't love us, he wouldn't have rules for us, and we would suffer because of it. Imagine if there wasn't any rules. How much worse, at least people pretend that there's rules. Imagine if there really wasn't. Imagine if Darwin was right. But anyway, I've been trying to. I've had my foot out the door for like a good 4 minutes now. So I'll probably go ahead and rip off the Band-Aid. But anyway, love you guys so much. Looking forward to getting back to my super long rambly videos. Maybe you are too. My view count is way down. I've been averaging like 30 something, 33. I hate, 33, but I've been averaging about 32, 34, 33 views per video. So yeah, I've been averaging 33. Real quick, because bears repeating because it's relevant. Don't get too into numerology, because everything has a number. Count to 50. Oh wow, you just said 40 magic numbers. Seriously, everything has a number attributed to it. I mean, certain things are obvious. It's like 666. Obviously. But you can't be like, 37, 23, 33. 62, blah 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 blah. Whatever. If you count to 100, you're gonna say a bunch of magic numbers. So that's one of those things where they like to use it, but you have to think too that everything's reversed. They're attributing power to things that don't really have power. Is there a specific reason why God has a certain specific number of things? Maybe. Do we even know what specific number of amount of things there are? No, we don't. There's way more that we don't know than we do know. So you can't be like, we know this, you can't. We don't know how many angels fell from heaven. We don't know how many angels there are. We don't know how many luminaries there are. We don't know. So you can't, just because, some dingus with some really gay facial hair gave, the number 8 a significance, doesn't mean that anytime someone says the number 8, they're referring to the to the infinity of the ages or some crap. All right, sometimes there could just be 4 things. It doesn't have to make a reference to initiation. Sometimes there's just 4. Sometimes there's 7. Sometimes there's 6. Sometimes a video will last, 6 minutes and 33 seconds. Sometimes a video will last 33 minutes and 33 seconds. Was that done on purpose? Of course not. I made a video recently that was exactly, 7 minutes, I think? Pretty cool. Very rarely do you hit the exact. Because when you hit stop, it keeps going, you know? And I can't sculpt my videos. Oh yeah. That reminds me, I still need to get back to trying to, see if I could, there's like a video editor type thing or whatever. Mess around with that. Obviously not for this video. We're just driving. We just driving to Massachusetts, man. But anyway, love you guys. You know, wanna get off that tangent about how numerology isn't really, you know, it is a thing. They do use it to, you know, kind of like talk to each other, but it doesn't matter. There's no actual power in numbers. It's not like, you know, like there is power in words. There's power in sounds, for sure. But there is no power in numbers. It's just, you know, things happen to add up to certain things. You know, like I said, and I'll say it this one last time. You know, if you count to 50, you're gonna list off about 40 power numbers. All right, doesn't matter. It's a non-point. But anyway, I just feel like it's important to mention, because you see people all the time getting, like, you know, hung up on that stuff. It's like, oh, you know, he said 6. It's like, oh, he said this, he said that. It's like, yeah, so what? You know? Did I say I am the beast 666 cookies? No. I said I had like 6 cookies. You know? But anyway, ew, traffic's getting all trafficy now. But I love you guys. You know, keep it in check. Stay sane. You know, be a real person. Be true to yourself. If you feel a certain way about something, and you're ashamed of that, come to terms with it, and that's the first step towards improving it. You know, say for example, like you're racist, but you know you don't want to be racist. You know, like you were born racist, you grew up in a, you know, not born racist, you were raised racist. You know, you were raised in a bad area by, you know, people who, you know, hated other people, you know, and you just kind of like, you know, and you have that in your heart. The worst thing you can do is ignore it. You know, the worst thing you can do is be like, I'm not racist. You know, like the you know, the thing you need to do is acknowledge it. You know, so you know, isn't what they say in a AA and stuff? You know, the first step to recovery is you know, acknowledging that there's a problem. You know, you're not going to fix anything by running from it. And I feel like a lot of people kind of function on that premise. You know, if I ignore it, it'll go away. You know, or like it's just not happening. You know, lie to yourself. But you'll never get better. Time will pass, and you'll stay just as crappy as you were. But yeah, that's my final words of quote unquote asterisk wisdom. But I love you guys so much. Wow, we're getting close to an hour. It's one of my longest videos. Love you guys. I really do. I don't mind saying it 1,000 times, because I really do love you guys. Have a beautiful day. What is it, Monday? Have a pleasant Monday. I don't really like Mondays, because it's the one day I have to work in the gas station, and I hate working in the gas station. It's like it's as big of a waste a day as when I'm at the car wash and it's nonstop. Except at the car wash, when it's nonstop, I'm making tips. And like when you're when you're pumping gas, you're like, and unless there's a decently sized lull, you're just, you can't do anything. You can't watch a video, you can't read anything, you can't write, you can't even listen to music that you like, because you're gonna have to keep pausing it. Like you put on random music, but don't you dare try to listen to a album. No way. It's not gonna work out. Someone's gonna come and waste your time. While the gas is pumping, you can't do nothing because it doesn't take long enough. You can't go do something else, and unless it's like a huge truck, or like a tanker or something. But you're just standing there for 90 seconds. I don't know. Bitch. But Mondays are like my least favorite days. And two foxes. Oh, I wish you guys saw that. There was two foxes that just ran across the street. You can tell by their tails, because their faces from the side look a little canine, but the big puffy tails are always a dead giveaway. When you really look at them, though, they look kind of catty, like cats. Back to biology real quick. I do not like how they classify things, because it's really arbitrary. They just there's a great watch people die inside, where that's a type of video now, where it's forget the guy's name, but it's some British or something, I don't know. It's it's one of those game show things where you have to answer questions, and they're asking is an ibex a goat or deer or yada yada yada, and and the host was like, I'm gonna say you're right without even looking, it's a deer, and and they're wrong, and it turned out to be a goat, and the guy was like, I've been to Africa and I've seen them deering along, I don't get it. It's because there are no classifications. Like we're just giving them. We're putting things in categories. The categories did not exist already. You understand what I'm saying? Like, God wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna make rodents. Now I'm gonna make reptiles. Now I'm gonna make there wasn't like, snakes are snakes, lizards are lizards, alligators are alligators, turtles are turtles, salamanders are salamanders, house cats are house cats. A lot of things have similarities. A lot of things can even breed with each other, such as different breeds of cats or bears or equines, horses. A horse and a donkey makes a mule. But here's the thing, and which also directly disproves evolution. When these things breed, their offspring is sterile. When a horse and a donkey makes a mule is sterile. A tiger and a lion makes a liger. A liger is sterile and very unhealthy. It just disproves evolution and also disproves categories. So what if there are categories? Look at birds. I don't think any bird can crossbreed, can they? I'm fairly certain no bird can crossbreed. No, I mean, maybe within small groups, but like as far as like a parrot's not going to be able to breed with a seagull, but they're the same, according to categories. According to their genus and kingdom and all that crap. So all that's nonsense. When you try to, that's a problem when you try to talk, science with a lot of people. They don't have a proper foundation. The foundation they have is fiction. They have a fictional foundation. You can't talk biology with someone who thinks that they're half fern plant. That thinks that, a rabbit, a squirrel, and a, rat are all the same. Just because something's similar, like there's a lot of animals, that act kind of catty. They act a lot like cats, but they're clearly not cats, and cats actually hunt them. There's not a lot of different breeds of cats, but there's like thousands of different breeds of birds. There's only 3 different kinds of bears. It's just biology is one of those things, man. If you really can't wrap your head around things, around the world, how fact that we were created, study biology. It really lays it all out clearly, in clear terms. Obviously, you just have to ignore all the crap like all the dumb human categorical nonsense that they change all the time anyway. Because they have to change things to suit things, or just to keep the plot running, like a sitcom. But all right, I've literally had my foot out the door for about 18 minutes now. Goodness gracious. Love you guys so much. I really do. I also really hope the audio worked on this. Yeah. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day and God bless you.